I'll read. So I'm bringing you an update to the dogs today, but I just wanted to get a couple of things out of the way first. Firstly, I've absolutely tried everything with this microphone. It was about 20 quid, so I upped it from 8 quid to 20 quid, and it's still buzzing like a trooper. I just can't get to stop buzzing and the interference. So I'm going to have another scout around and look for a decent YouTube recording microphone. I think I've had it once where there hasn't been so much buzzing, but I can't even remember what was going on there. I've obviously got a few. Well, I've got another laptop and a PC running normally next to it. I've got nothing next to this now, but I can't hear the fan from the Surface Pro. I've got them Surface Pros are awful for fan noise. So apologies for that. I'm going to try and get another one sorted out. I watch all these videos on YouTube and the sound's just perfect, and it just annoys me because they claim they're using sort of cheap microphones. But I'm going to have a look at some sort of group test reviews for YouTube microphones. Secondly, we are now at our campsite for the season and we're just starting to settle in, and I found that absolutely nothing's working. Typical. I'm trying to remote access into a PC back at the empty property that I'm renovating, and it's really, really slow. But I figure that's because I'm using a mobile phone at this end and a mobile phone at the other end for data. So it's just causing a bit of a bottleneck. So I am in the process of getting another VPS sorted out so I can run Betfair Bot Manager and Auto Each Way Sniper. I'm currently running Auto Each Way Sniper from the camper bus here on the site, and it's coming up with a few errors, and that's because the mobile internet connection isn't great. The mobile data reception isn't great on the site. It's okay, but I'm going to try and see if I can find another few providers where I'll get a few cheap sims for a week and just test it with the speed. Currently, both of us are on 3 at the moment, so that's probably the main reason. It's ideal and cheap for unlimited, but I might have to look at EE or O2 or something a bit more premium at a premium price just while we're here for 6 months. So I will look at that because there's a few things not working. Even my, for some reason, video editing software wouldn't let me log in. You'd think I was on a different planet, not just up there, a little bit up the country. Anyhow, let's get cracked on with an update with the dogs. So as you can see, the main, from an overview point of view, we've lost no more tracks since the last time I done an update, so that's good news. But as you can see, that the main strategy here, where we're just putting 2p on every single race, we're at minus £1.68. So that in itself, to me, is still showing over the long term. We're over 3,500 bets now. Over the long term, it's not a winning strategy if you don't use recovery. So I think a lot of traders, a lot of people would say if it's not a winning strategy just on level stake and plan, then it's not a winning strategy. So do bear that in mind if you're doing this. It means our strike rate is still at the 89% mark. And if we go through the red, you can see all the red down here. These are the accurate number of restarts. So Doncaster has failed 3 times and restarted in the red. Newcastle 3 times, Romford twice. None of those are still in the green for obvious reasons. They keep failing on us. If I do move down to the green, you can see I'm clicking here and this is really slow. It just seems to tie up on the VPS. This is running over a VPS, so that's what I'm talking about, the performance. I need something a bit better than this. So here's the green here then. I've had to reset Central Park yesterday because that ended on a cliffhanger. I think I banked about £40, and I've also restarted Sunderland because that ended on a cliffhanger yesterday, which meant we didn't win as much money yesterday because I think we lost about £7 or £8 on each of those tracks on the very last race of the day. A little disappointing, but I prefer to, as you know, on cliffhangers, I prefer to just restart them because it means we don't risk the first race of the next meet losing and us losing a lot more money. So I just restart them. Whether that's the right thing that you do or not, I'm not sure, but that's what I've been doing all along now. And again, sorry, I'm trying to move along here. So as you can see, Sunderland, we've got a profit of £43, so we banked £43 there. In Central Park, I think it was about 40 odd pound as well we banked, but we already had some money banked. I don't know whether to record the restart on the cliffhangers or not. So just to mention, and I have changed things up a little bit, not on the way the strategies work. Trying to get back here to the left, it's ridiculously slow. Actually, first, one more thing on the green. I'm not sure if I put one more in. I think I might have mentioned on the last update putting one more in. We have actually put that in now. It looks like it might have been in a while, so just to let you know, that's the only change. We have got 10 in here now, because I know at one point we only had 9, so we have got 10 green tracks in there now. And that still ain't moving back. I'm going to just, oh, there, it's back there now. So that's where we're at. Now, as I say, I've changed things up a bit, not in the strategies themselves and how they work on Betfair Bot Manager, but on the way I'm recording everything. So if I just go into, if I get on the right screen, if I just go into the sheet now, this is the spreadsheet I'm using for the dogs. And what I'm basically doing is I'm just recording the daily profit and loss in this column here, which I'm just getting from the profit and loss report on Betfair Exchange. So what you can actually do is if you go under account and then go to profit and loss report, you can go in and you specify a date. So you just put a date in, you can say today or yesterday, or you can specify a specific date. I put that in and it brings up the profit and loss for greyhounds. So this includes the main overall data collection strategy, all the red strategies where we're putting 2 pence on each race, and all the green where we're putting £1 on each race, and that's totaled up by dog strategy for the day. Now, as you can see, yesterday on the 7th we only won £9.87, and that was because, like I say, it was Central Park and Sunderland, they both failed on the last, they both lost on the last race of the day. So it was probably about 16, 17 or 18 pounds worth there, which came off that. So, but a profit's a profit at the end of the day, so I'm not too concerned about that. Column C then has the cumulative profit, and that is running at £369.18 since the day we started, which is really good. And then column D has the weekly profit, so you'll only see a number in there on every Sunday. So that week was £191 profit. The week before last was £45 profit. Last week was £115 profit. And where you see the X here, we'll get another number in at the end of this week. So this week's going quite well at the minute. We are running at a profit of £102, assuming no mishaps on Saturday, which is today, or Sunday, tomorrow. We should probably be looking at something along the lines of that, but again, we just wait and see, because again, we might have a mishap. You can see these were the two disastrous days. This one here, so I've highlighted in red the negatives. This one here was just when we had I think it was a couple of one or two cliffhangers, where just reset, and so we end up with minus 4 pence, which was neither here nor there. And these are the two biggies. I think we had 2 losses on that day and 1 on that day, and they remain to this day the only 3 tracks that we lost. And we've got Newcastle, Nottingham and Romford, if memory serves correct, and they're still out of the green, and the other 3 were lost. You can see at that point what our profits went from £269 down to £129, but since then it's built back up gradually and nice and steady up to £369. Now I'm just going to run it like this, going down all the way. If I go up this sheet a bit, you'll see right to the top. So that's from the very first day we started this, which was Friday the 10th of March. So it includes everything. This is when we were testing down to about here. It was only really the Wednesday we got full flow and got some into the green, and even then it was the Friday before I got about 10, or I think we had about 12 in the green. Built them up gradually, and that's why the numbers went up. like 7, 27, 41. And that's how I'm going to record it going forward. I'm just going to add a figure at the bottom here every day. So as you can see, I've got until the end of this month already put into this sheet on the 30th, and I'll just extend it further after that. I'll put X's in where you'll see sort of a weekend ending number and a month ending number. I just thought it would be easier doing it this way rather than the figures I had in the previous sheet. And what you can actually do as well, since the week we started, you can actually highlight all the week numbers. And you can see there that the total we've made up until Sunday the 2nd was 266.52 there, which tallies with this total here. And then if you click on that, you can actually see the average for the week has been £66. So out of this thing at the minute, we've made £66 on average a week. And then we'll be able to do the same for the month, but we've only got 1 month number in there at the minute, which is 224 for March. And we'll get another number when we get to the end of April. So if you remember on this left-hand side, I had all the different colours of red and green and all the failures. The way I'm recording that now is I'm doing just a list. So if I go into the resets tab, then all I've got a list, and this is just from the 1st of April. I've just got a list of any failures where bot has paused because there's been 2 consecutive losses. As you can see, it's happened at Perry Bar, Newcastle and Hove. They were all in the red, and that was the date it happened. This is the profit and loss at the time, and this was the strike rate at the time. You can see Newcastle was really bad there. If I click on the 60, I can see it was 3 out of 5, and I've recorded that information from Betfair Bot Manager. Put some notes in as well, because you can see Perry Bar here failed on red, but it didn't fail on green, so it didn't pause on green, so it's still running on green. Again, I think that's just the disparity between the red and the green. The red I'm getting on, I think, 30 seconds before, and the green I'm getting on 1 minute before, placing the bet 1 minute before the race, or vice versa. I can't remember which way around that is, and I need to have a look. And I think on the red, I'm not bothered if there's 6 dogs running or not. I'm just placing the bet. On the green, I'm making sure there's 6 dogs running. I watched one race the other morning. It was the first race. I can't remember which track it was, but I just wanted to check something through on my bot. So I think it was about 8:30 or something in the morning while I was just getting sorted. And I just decided to watch the race, and there was only like 4 dogs running. And the forecast for the favourite was like odds on practically, and the second favourite was decent as well. So it was odds on that those 2 were going to either finish first and second, or second and first, one way around or the other. So that those 2 forecasts were really low odds, and as it happens, one didn't. But obviously, what my point there is, the green strategies would not got a bet on that race, but the red strategies would, and that's where it might be different. I mean, it wasn't Perry Bar I was watching at the time, but that's where it might be different. I don't know whether to align them or not. I'm just going to leave it as it is at the minute, because I don't mind the fact that they're failing on red but not failing on green. It's when they fail on green that we're going to suffer a big loss. So every time we lose on the red or the green, I'll put a row in here. And this duration here, I'm going to fill that out. So if Hove fails again further down, I'll just take the current date and subtract the last time it failed on the 6th of the 4th and put in that duration will be the number of days since it last failed. That'll give me an idea of how often these tracks are failing when I can do some reporting when this grows big. So just going back to Betfair Bot Manager, I think my license runs out on the 10th. I think I have decided I will renew it so I can continue with this strategy. And I think once I get down to about, if we lose 2 more, which will be 5 losses on the green, I might start the whole thing again from scratch, like we started on the 10th of March. But start it obviously with taking the best red strategies that I'll have at the time in terms of percentage. So you've got like Yarmouth there's 91%, it's 70 out of 77. I'll take the top sort of 12 and do it again until 5 lose. I think that's the way I might play it, because what we can do then, even if we lose another 2 now, okay, we're only looking at £90 maximum, I think, for losing each one. Obviously, don't want to lose that, but it's inevitable that these are going to lose at some point. But even if we do lose two and we lose £90 on each one, worst case scenario, say £180, going back to these numbers here, even if we take £180 off our current profit of 369, we'd still be over, we'd still be over, well, it would still be about £200, just less than £200 in profit. And to me, that's a good time to probably just call it quits, stop, and then maybe restart the whole thing and try it again and see if we get the same kind of results from run 2. Because as you can see, I've named this run 1 at the bottom there. So this is our sort of attempt 1, if you like. One other thing I haven't mentioned, which I'm going to mention now, is on the 1st of April, I've just started a new little technique, or whatever you want to call it, whereby when I put this number in here, I'm going into my Betfair Exchange account. Well, I'm already in there when I'm getting this number out of the account. I'm going into the Betfair Exchange account and I'm actually withdrawing that amount exactly. So on the 1st of April, on the Saturday, well, it was the Sunday actually, Sunday morning, I went in, sort of put in the 1st of April, got the profit of 27.11 for the day before, and actually withdrew that amount into my bank account. So what that means is every single day I'm drip feeding this money into my bank account, and the Betfair Exchange balance is staying the same, or roughly the same. I am actually putting a few different bets on. You can probably see if I go back to the Betfair bot manager. We've got £22 worth of bets on here. That's because it's a Saturday, and I do a few bets on horses and football, and I've got football bots running all the time, and there might be a couple of dog bets in there as well. But there's a liability of £22 at the moment, so my balance is 278. But if all that comes back in without losing it, that's going to be about 280, 300. So my Betfair balance now isn't really going up, it's kind of staying stationary with regards to the dogs anyway. I might win a few football, lose a few football, win a few horses, lose a few horses, but with regards to the dogs, it's staying around the 275, 300 mark, somewhere in there, until one of these green ones lose, because I'm withdrawing the money every day. The reason I think I'm doing that is just it's more psychological. Obviously, the money could easily build up in the Betfair Exchange, but then if we lose a big green one, then we're going to lose £80, £90 maybe. I'm putting it in here, so it would just break the balance on the 200 and odd pounds I've got in Betfair. I don't know, let me know what you think in the comments, if it's a good idea or not. But basically, what's happened is because I've been doing that, and I've just withdrawn £9.87 this morning there. I do that every day. So over the past week, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, that's exactly a week now. Over the last week, you can see here, I've withdrawn £144 into my bank account, and the Betfair Exchange balance has stayed roughly the same. It's actually gone up a little bit, so I must have won on some of the, I must be up a little on the football or the horses. Now to me, it's a nice little earn. That's 144 back into my bank account that I didn't have, and that was just building up Betfair Exchange, with the risk of it disappearing a bit or losing. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. But I'm going to do that for the whole of April. And so it'll just be the profit I get for the whole of April, I presume, unless we have to stop this because we have losing greens. But that's, I just thought I'd mix it up a bit. It's like I say, a little bit psychological. It's showing me that the money's going into the account, and that's how much I'm actually making, and I can see that I'm actually making that rather than just being like on paper or in my Betfair account. And that's it for now. I'm not planning on doing. I had a look through the red strategies, and I can't find many more. Well, any or many more I want to put in here. The only one I did think I could put in was Kinsley, but I thought, well, I'll leave it as it is, and once I lose 5 of the green tracks, and then I've lost 3 so far. Once I lose another 2, I'm going to pause the whole lot and start it again. I will be moving machines because I'm clicking up here again. As you can see, this is really slow, so I do need to sort something out because it's getting to the point it's so laggy it's not really usable when I'm here on the campsite. So I do need to sort something out there. I've just signed up to a new, more powerful VPS this morning, but for some reason I can't get logged in yet. So I've sent them a message. I can connect to the server, the VPS, but I can't use my user ID and password that I set up when I created the account. So I'm just waiting for a reply on that. Hopefully that'll be faster. If it's not, then the next port of call is updating my mobile data contract for the campsite to see if we can get something faster. But there's Kinsley there. It obviously had one failure more or less immediately in the red, sorry. But since then it's won 12 out of 13, which is 92%. But it is only 13. I do like to see it get the double figures over 90%, which it is, but it's only just into double figures. But if I drop it down, it's not putting. I don't think it's been going a while now, Kinsley, and it's only put 13 bets on. So see how long that's taken to drop down. It's just ridiculously slow. It's been going a while now, so it hasn't put that many bets on. So that's the only concern. And obviously, it failed pretty quickly straight away. So I'm still in two minds whether to add that in the green or just leave it. But there's nothing else I can see going down here in the 90s or over. Doncaster there, I wouldn't really want to put Doncaster on because it's already lost 3 times in the red. I'd probably only even consider putting any on that I've lost once. This has taken, see how long that's taken to drop down there. It's crazy. There. So I've just closed it back up because it took so long. Clicked it again there now. It's still not opening up, even though it was open just a second ago there. Come on! Yeah, it's terrible to see. This is a problem I've had in the last few days, which is why I haven't really done an update. I wasn't going to try and click in stuff here. I was just going to try and explain without going in because I know I can't get into things. Right. Is that going to stay open? Right, okay, yeah. So you can see it's when was the 7th? That was yesterday. So there was a meet yesterday and it put 3 bets on. There was a meet on the 5th and it only put 1 bet on. There was a meet on the 3rd and it put 2 bets on. And there was a meeting on the 31st and put 3 bets on. So it is putting bets on, but it's maximum's putting on any one meeting is on any one day is 3 there. 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's not massive, so we're not making loads out of it. But if I was in the green, would have been making £1 off each of them. I might move it in, I might not. I'll make a decision over the weekend and I'll let you know in the next update whether I moved it in or not. Bear in mind it already failed once, but that last failure must have been before I clicked on something there. You see it go down, it won't go down. Not there. So the last red failure must have been like before the 22nd of March. So it's been running okay since the 22nd of March, with the exception of that one failure there. Don't know why the cursor, it's just changed back to my cursor was like 2 hours, just so slow. Obviously the slowness at my end is due to my internet connection and not the VPS. The VPS, Betfair Bot Manager, will be running fine at the server end on the VPS, so there's no need to worry about that. It's just when I connect to it, it's just really, really slow. So that's it for this update. I'll leave you with that. But overall, it's going pretty well. Can just say as well, thanks very much for the input from certain people in the comments. It's much appreciated. There's some good discussions going on there about recovery, especially. Really appreciate it. Food for thought. I've done a bit more. I already knew about how high risk recovery strategies are and how professional traders won't touch them with a barge pole. And we've got no edge over the bookies here. We're just getting on any race. We've got no value. We're just getting on any odds, and we're not looking at. We're not looking at anything in any particular fashion to actually make sure our bets win. So I do appreciate all that, but I'm going to go into that in future videos, which is why I'm collecting the 3,500 data set here that I can actually analyse and see what's happened by each track and by each trap and things like that. It still obviously could still be pot luck, but at the end of the day, I don't have time to go and analyse every single sort of race, look at all the traps, all the previous history of the dogs, and things like that. I want something that's automated. Now, I know I might be looking for the Holy Grail there, but so be it. So far, it's worked. We're 300 and odd pounds up. And again, yeah, it might all come crashing down, and that's the risk you take. So the main advice is don't put in a penny more than what you can afford to lose if it was all to disappear tomorrow. I mean, I could walk away now, go to the toilet or go for a pint, come back, and all those green tracks might have failed. Could have, say, 10 losses in a row, which would get rid of the 5 tracks. Oops, I've just gone too far there. We could have 10 losses in a row, which might get rid of 5 tracks straight away. That would give us, say, about 60, 70, 80 pounds lost per track, and that would be our Betfair bank gone. So I'm happy if I lose £278.19. I banked 100 and odd this month since the first anyway, and it's another reason I'm probably doing that, just so I am protecting what I'm happy to lose. Because obviously, if I hadn't banked all that, this would be up to, well, it'll be about £400 now. So yeah, don't put in a penny more than you can afford to lose, because it could well disappear. I totally appreciate that. I'm just trying to find something that will mitigate the losses. I'm only going to 2 recoveries, because obviously we can lose £9 on the first bet. Loss. We can lose £90 on the second loss, and then you extrapolate that again, you're looking at probably 900 for the third loss, and that's why we're not going that high, because I don't have a £900 bank, and if we lost 1 track, that would be £900 gone, for example. That's why I'm only doing 2. And the reason we're doing laying on the forecast as well is because you can just see by dropping one of these down, say that one there where there's a few 54. We won 53 out of 54. So nearly every bet is a winner. But obviously, it still can happen that you're going to get 2 losers in a row, and that track would pause itself. Okay, so please bear that in mind. I don't want to be blamed for people losing money on this thing. It just so happens I've won, and I totally get some of the comments, and I really do appreciate them more than you'll ever know, really, because it does give me additional information and food for thought and ideas on what to look up next. Okay, anyhow, thanks for watching. I'll try and get some network issues and everything sorted out before I'm back on, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers now. Bye.